Hi everyone, I just thought I'd do a YouTube video on my kiln opening. My kiln is outside in a very sort of rusty old shed, metal shed. So it's way too dark in there to film as I pull out, but I've pulled everything out and I just thought I would give you a peek at some of the stuff that's come out of the kiln. So when I glaze, it's a little bit, I know some of you love to brush on glazes, some of you love to dip glazes, some of make your own glazes. So I would say I do a mixture of all those techniques. My one rule is that I never ever paint my Lerner glazes inside a cup or a mug or a drinking vessel, mostly because I don't have the patience to do it. So those are always going to be poured glazes. And then the outside of my glazes are really just a combination of different companies' glazes. Some of them are brushed on, some of them are dipped. And then I also make my own glazes. Those recipes have come from all different places. The studio I used to belong to, glazy.org, so many different places that you can find glaze recipes. So I thought I'd just show you a few things that have come out. I'll start with this bowl here. And full disclosure here, not totally remembering everything I did on this bowl. I know the outside is green tea and frost blue, I think. And then this is Mako light flux on the outside. So even though I did the green tea and the blue right up to the edge, the Mako flux brings that blue out. And then the inside is a combo of, trying to remember, there's some winter wood in there, green tea once again, frost blue, and I believe I used a little bit of coyote gunmetal green and some flux. So that turned out pretty. Now this one has manganese wash on the rim, and then it's my studio satin white on the inside, and the outside is my studio matte turquoise, which I got from John Britt's Mastering Cone 6 Glazes, that book, which has some great recipes in it. So that's the treatment on this one. It's on a dark clay. This one is a chip and dip bowl or cheese and cracker bowl or whatever you would want to use them for. This is just a little spot from this glaze. So this is Laguna Power Turquoise as the base, which in this one, I believe I did some pouring and brushing, but I have it in a bucket. It's not a pint of glaze. And then the rim is one coat of, oh Lordy, I can't speak today, Mako Night Moth. So I really like that effect. This bowl is really pretty. You can see there's blues, there's a vivid teal, this is black. And then if you look inside on the drips, we've got a little bit of pink happening too, which is really wild. So this was about 2/3 of the way up, inside and out would be my studio black. And then the top part was Laguna Power Turquoise. And then a band over the Laguna Power Turquoise only of Coyote Gunmetal Green. So, and I brushed that on. Then this bowl, manganese wash on the rim once again, because I love how that drips. This is just a bit of an altered rim. And then this is my studio white, satin white. And then inside that, I have a band of coyote blue purple and a band of coyote gunmetal green. And they are nice runny glazes, so they didn't need any flux. Really pretty. I like that, all the colors that are popping there. I love mermaids. So this is a mermaid plate. And she was done, oh gosh, I'm forgetting the base glaze. That base glaze might have been, I think it was Norse blue. then Celadon Bloom over that. And before I did all that, I took some copper wash and just put that in some of the areas that I really wanted to pop to get that dark green color. So it gives it a nice oceany feel. This is just a little free-form bowl that I threw, and I was just kind of playing. It's the dark clay. All of this stuff has been fired to about cone 5.5, and it's using Camille Hoffman's slow cool schedule. So I found it's been really great to solve any of my pinholing issues, which I used to have a lot with a lot of Celadons actually. So this is just a little free-form bowl, and the inside was Coyote Magenta Sky. Outside on the rim was Blue Purple, and then over all that was Coyote Antique Pearl. And it's a little splotchy in the back. I probably could have put a little more on of the Antique Pearl on the back, and then that's the Blue Purple again. So that's that. I throw a lot of these little, I call them cheese ball bowls, really. They're whatever you want to use them for, dips or pâtés or anything like that. And then I just sell them with these little wooden spoons. And this is Laguna Power Turquoise, once again with just one coat of night moth on the inside, leaving some of the Power Turquoise showing. So this is, I did a set of Harry Potter mugs, and this one is in my studio green, and I think I got that from glaze.org. Then this, the Gryffindor one, is in Firebrick Red. So that would be Amico's Firebrick Red, I believe, just with my studio black on the bottom and white liner inside. Then this is the Hufflepuff mug. So I did all the mugs in the color of the houses from Harry Potter. I'm a Harry Potter geek. My family's a Harry Potter geeks. And then this is Frosted Lemon. It came out a little bit splotchy, and I think that's because I used the dark clay on this. So I may put a little more on and refire. I haven't quite decided yet. Then this would be my Studio Dark Blue. And I think I just got this recipe from glazy.org. Very similar to lots of dark Celadons that you see. And this is Ravenclaw, once again with a black bottom. And then another Gryffindor mug in the Firebrick Red. What else did I want to show you? So this is my yin and yang glaze combo. And this is a Studio Satin White and my Studio Black. Then in the middle, I have a strip of, first I put a strip of Alabaster on there, and then a strip of Winterwood, and then just some globbies of Make a Light Flex. So this is a really popular style. And this is exact same glaze combo, but on white clay instead of the dark clay. So it's a little bit brighter. So that's that. Couple of wine cups. So these, once again, just that Studio Satin White for the liner. And this is the same treatment as on that big bowl where we've got Studio Black on the bottom, Laguna Power Turquoise on the top, and then a strip of Coyote Gunmetal Green above, on top of the Power Turquoise. So that gives you those really nice bluey drips with a little bit of pink. Really pretty. And then we have a couple more. And I throw these wine goblets just in one piece. They're a little narrow at the bottom, but I like it better than trying to throw two pieces and then sticking it together. I just like to do it this way instead. So they're a little bit thick on the bottom, but they are a nice shape, I think. And on this one, I have Temuco Gold on the bottom. I have Firebrick Red on the top. a band in the middle of sienna speckle, deep sienna speckle. That's Amico, I believe. And then there's a little bit of flux on there. And that's those. So that's a really nice sort of fallish, wintry colors, you know, something a little darker for the season. People seem to like them. And then a couple more yin and yang. And that's in those wine cups again, thrown in one piece, all lined with the Studio satin white. The other reason I like to use just a satin white liner or something like that is glazes are really expensive, especially the brush-on glazes. And when you use pour glazes like a simple white, it's a lot cheaper. So that's kind of my theory on that. Although sometimes I do have colored insides of my glazes, but just not always. What else to show you? Oh, so this is, I make these mugs called attitude mugs. So they just have funny little sayings, things that people relate to. So this one is see you in hell, backwards on the video. But this is a Studio maroon or burgundy, raspberry, white liner, black bottom. And this is, oh, it's called Jen's Juicy, and it's from Mastering Cologne 6 Glazes by John Britt. And it's a really cool little runner glaze that you put over things, and you get all sorts of different effects. So in this particular case, you kind of get this mottled snowfall effect, which is quite nice. And just the white Studio glaze. I call them cappuccino bowls, but really they are more like soup bowls, or, you know, or latte bowls for something that's kind of big. So they're kind of a wide shape with a little handle. And then it's got a Sambao bee transfer inside. And that's just a white stoneware covered with clear. And then a couple of little bees on the bottom. And the outside is Amico Marigold. And same idea here. So this one has a lobster inside. I live in an island. Lobsters are very popular. And then it's got an octopus on the bottom. And this one is glazed in, oh gosh, I think it's called Storm. It's a dark blue Amico Celadon. One of my biggest glaze combos that I'm doing right now is called, I call it Blue Grotto. And it's a lot of work to make it. And I've seen lots of versions of this online on different groups, Facebook groups and stuff. So this is my version. And it takes, they're a bit tedious to paint, I would say. The bottom third is alabaster and winterwood. And I've been painting those by hand, but I just ordered some dippable alabaster, so it should come in. So I'll do a quick dip in alabaster and then just paint one coat of the winterwood over top, because I usually only use one coat of winterwood. And that'll save me some time, because if I do like, I think I did like 10 pieces of that, it's going to save a lot of time. And then I just do these random strips, hard to describe how I do it, but of different colors in blues. So I think this batch I made, it's Amico Sky, it's Norse Blue, Mediterranean Blue from Coyote, and top one is Philosopher's Stone from Coyote, and then just really random dabbies of flux to get this sort of random drippage, which is quite nice. And same idea here. These are just, I call them wine cups, but excuse me, really they're tumblers or whatever. And they have a little thumb hold, white inside, an exact same technique to paint them. So each one is totally different, of course, because it's so random how it works. Just to give you an idea. So I live on Prince Edward Island. We call it PEI, is the short version of it. And I sell a lot of PEI girl mugs. Once again, white inside. This is a complete dip of Laguna Power Turquoise, and then the Night Moth on the top. And then this, I just wipe back. And so I have the paint in the letters, so it's pretty good. This is another PEI Girl mug, same idea, except this is my studio green. And of course, this green is on a brown clay, so it gets this really kind of vintagey color, kind of 70s green, I think of it as. And this is my studio dark blue. And then the middle is a strip of alabaster and a strip of winterwood, and then a strip of flux. And then the inside is my studio white. So that's quite pretty. And then if I do this treatment on a white clay or a stoneware clay, white stoneware clay, then this green becomes much less muddy, more clear, I guess. So it's always amazing to me when you change clays, how much things change in their looks. Excuse me for going out of focus here. And this would be just a PEI Girl mug in my complete studio white. So the studio satin white. It's a satin, but it's not super, super shiny, but it's also not dull. It's quite nice. And a lot of people really like that. White's big right now. So I do things in white on a semi-regular basis. Excuse me for going out of shot again. So these are chef's cups, I call them. They're just little tiny cups that you can sip on wine when you're cooking, so you don't knock over your cup when you're going. So that's why I call them chef's cups. They're also great little tumblers for kids or whatever. So this one is Norse blue bottom, studio white top, a band of blue hydrangea, and then a band of flux on that. And then this is a studio white inside, fire brick red with Jen's Juicy from Exploring Mid-Range Glazes book. Let's see, what else to show you? This is a set of cream and sugars that I make. Make them just really simple and rustic. I mean, I call them cream and sugars, but of course people can use them for whatever they want. They'd be great for salad dressings or little pourers or whatever people wanted to use them for. And then this would be the sugar bowl, but of course people can use it for whatever they want to use it for. So this one has a little indent inside and it's got the pourer. And I call this glaze combo Mystic Lake. So I use a studio blue on the bottom. I use my studio turquoise, which I think is Val's turquoise, on the top. And then I use a band of olive float around, leaving a little bit of the turquoise still showing. And then I put some flux on the turquoise that's showing. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyway. And then you get this lovely combo called Mystic Lake for me. Last two I'll show you. Oh, and this one. So this is just a little turtle mug in that studio green that's really kind of funky and vintage, which I really like. It's got a little band of white at the top and then a band of flux over the white and the green. And the flux turns the green this really neat turquoise color. So that's really cool. Very neat. These just came out, so they still have to be cleaned up for bottoms. So I also make these little mini cups. I call them mini me cups. They're for little hands. You know, people who have little ones who want to sort of jump on the pottery game. So I make them with a wide bottom so they don't tip very easily, a little narrower at the top so they don't spill so easily. Little handles for little hands. Obviously, people need to be supervised when they're using them, but I made one for my granddaughter and she really loves it. And she's only like 2.5, so there you go. So this one is my studio pink with a white on the top and some flux. And the flux, when it hits the pink, turns this kind of darker pink color. So that's really cool. And just the white inside. And this one is that same combo, Norse blue, white, blue hydrangea, and flux. And I call this icy blue. So I think I do have some other pieces, but they're fairly repetitive. I just wanted to give you an idea of some of my studio practices. I've been learning so much from YouTube, and I feel like it's only fair that I should give back a little bit. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again. Take care.